야 시시한 거 봐.
Cassandra, it's you.
뭐야?
Phoebe,
얘 여기서 뭐해?
You said you weren't coming back to Kefalonia, so I decided to leave too.
뭐요?
I said I wouldn't be coming back. But I don't remember saying you should leave.
Well, here I
what?
am.
How did you even
삼촌
get
어디 간
here,
거야 그럼?
Phoebe?
삼촌 일 방생한 거야?
I did make some drachmi working for Marcos.
So you paid someone to bring you to Athens?
Not exactly.
Phoebe,
I needed a drachmi for when I arrived. I couldn't use it all to leave, and I didn't want to wait any longer. So I sneaked on a ship. Don't worry, nobody saw.
I just can't believe you made it.
I don't remember much of Athens from when I was a baby. But every once in a while, something feels familiar. It's nice.
몰라요? 페리클레스네 집에서 하인하고 있네.
I can't believe you're here.
Me either. I can't believe we both made it to Athens. It's so much different from Kefalonia.
케팔로니아
But what are you
촌놈들
doing
이거
here?
놀란 거 봐.
I'm here to get you ready. I have to make sure you leave all your weapons and change into these clothes.
So you somehow work here for Pericles?
No, for Aspasia.
아스파시아
I
누구야?
don't understand why I have to change.
It's just what you do here. I felt weird at first, but you forget about it pretty fast.
And my weapons?
Don't worry, I'll take care of them. We don't want to scare people in there.
Well, how is it you're working for Aspasia?
Well, I did get into a little bit of trouble after I got to Athens. I may have been a leader of a small group of orphans that tried to cheat Aspasia. We didn't know it was her
미량에서
though.
넘어와가지고
And you
패거리 만들었네.
convinced her to hire you.
No, she asked me on her own.
That was lucky.
그러니까 고아들끼리 뭉쳐가지고 패거리 만들었는데 그 고아들 아스파시아가 걷어준
I
거네.
think I'm ready to go in.
You can't. Not like that, anyway. The Athenians like it best when
전염병에
you
저는
try
그
to
전염병의
fit in.
화근들을
But
죽였잖아요.
don't worry, I have just the outfit for you.
그래서 뭐 평범하게 살아 있는 듯?
I'll get changed. Promise you'll take care of my things?
Yep. Leave your weapons in the corner, and I'll come back when you're done.
그래 차라리 여기서 계속 일해라. 그 케팔로니아 그 촌동네에서 노는이가 여기서 저기 알바하고 그래 한여하고.
I feel uncomfortable in this.
오.
Now you look like everyone else.
You say that like it's a good thing.
It is. If you want them to take you seriously, this is the easiest way. Trust me.
Is that everything?
그야말로
You're all
아프로디테에
ready to
비할
go in.
만하구나.
Don't worry. You've done scarier things than this.
떡대요. 아, 뭐
Struggling
떡대는
to
어쩔
think
수
of any
없죠.
right now. Are you sure I can't keep
건강미라고
just
합시다.
one weapon
전 이게
with
좋아요.
me?
No weapons. Now hurry and go in. Oh, and don't leave without saying bye.
건강미라고 하죠. 흉터요? 뭐 다행히도 덕분에 저기 어중이 떠중이들이
The
초판 안
mighty
넣어줄 거 아니에요.
mercenary and traveler has finally made her grand entrance. Only slightly late, too.
Herodotus! Athenians have no problem letting me know when I'm not welcome. It's a relief to see your friendly face.
Don't let the company here tonight intimidate you.
I won't.
Pericles is no king. He needs these guests to love him so that the people love him. And they, in turn, need Pericles. You're no different from any of them.
Do you really think these people will help me?
They will if you get them to trust you. And you've wisely dressed for the occasion. Appearing trustworthy is the
팔에
most
흉터 저거
important
뭐야?
part of being trusted, after all. Now then, come, let me introduce you to everyone. They may not look it, but this group holds the way to the future on the tip of their opinionated tongues. Ah,
아 맞네.
Sophocles
아,
and
똑같은 거
Euripides, for
느낌이네. 세
example.
개니까.
Two of the most celebrated playwrights to date. No one can throw stones as far as they can. They appear to be locked in some kind of intellectual struggle, as is their way.
He's a writer of comedies, of all things. Comedies, Euripides.
그냥 왕따 시키고 있는 것 같은데? 아닌가? 아주
It looks
지적으로
more
보이지
like a
않는데.
lover's quarrel to me.
Hermipos has also written his fair share of comedies.
You should drink more.
Lately, his attitudes have garnered him more notice than his works. However, the fellow beside him, Protagoras, is a sophist worthy of as much praise as the great Socrates himself.
Inviting Socrates seems like a good way to ruin everyone's night. I'm surprised they would let him in the door.
Oh, don't let Socrates get under your skin. At least he wore shoes for the occasion.
신발을 신고 왔대.
And the poor thing gesticulating like an ape is Thrasymachos. If you listen closely, you'll notice he and Socrates are actually arguing the same points. But the wind from his wild gestures deafens him to critique.
That isn't at all what I mean.
Where is Pericles?
Oh, he never attends his
저거
own parties.
포도주인가? 대접채로
Which
들고
reminds
다니는
me, there's something I need to get his help with.
Vile Socrates, always appearing where I least expect him. Warrior, protect me from his amorous gaze. Oh, Alcibiades, this is not a time for
여기
jealousy,
잘생겼다.
but for love.
잘생겼는데요? 얼굴이? 깔끔하고. 오 마이 갓. 저게
Let's
내가
not use
생각하는-
Alcibiades as an example. Be good and don't drink too much. So, tell me, what does a Mystios like you think of a party like this?
This party could be fun. Alcibiades drinks like a Spartan. Maybe he fights like one too.
If I could suggest anything,
아니 뭐
please
그리스는
don't start a
동성애가
fight
흔했다니까.
or end one.
Thank you, Herodotus.
Now, if you'll excuse me,
저 시대에
Pericles is
동성애하면
here
어떡해?
somewhere, and I
병이 안
need to
걸리는
prepare
거지.
him. If he's alone, I'll tell him what your brother said.
별로 알고 싶진 않던데.
Agreed. Pericles needs to know. I'll stay here and look for clues.
I hope they know something about your mother.
Me too.
어머니에 대한 정보를 그냥 뭐다 찔러보는 건가?
And so it isn't the rich and powerful, but the gods who are the source of justice?
What? No! Have you been listening to nothing I say?
소크라테스 너무 갱도로 하나에 나올 것 같아. 체형이 뭔가 꼴도 그렇고.
Of course, I only use the terms war or god or civility in the context of what can be observed. So I can observe soldiers fighting, but does that bring me any closer to understanding war?
I haven't seen you around before, citizen. Perhaps you'd like to spare me conversing with this man of nonsense?
Sure, we can talk. What about?
Before Protagoras changed the subject, we were talking about the next great leader of
얘네는 페리클레스
Athens,
별로 안 좋아하나?
Creon.
클레온. 지금까지 봤을 때 클레온이 대단한 인물은 아닌데. 머저리라고 하기에도 좀. 클레온 애국 보수잖아요. 나랑은 좀 취향이 안 맞는데.
I saw Cleon talk at the Pnyx. Even for a politician, he's scum.
Bah, you sound like every other blowhard in this place. Cleon is a champion of the people, and he's ready to tear down Pericles' elitism.
I take it you and Pericles aren't friends.
Hardly. Hermipos led the Tsars to have Aspasia ostracized and to see Pericles stripped of power. Not that it worked.
Yet, Pericles is the past. He's more worried about losing a few precious statues than he is fighting and winning the war. Cleon will rule this city and return it to greatness. Mark my words.
I'm looking for clues to help me find a woman. She was Spartan.
Looking and finding are quite different things, wouldn't you say? I could observe a priest offering sacrifice to the gods, but does that mean, in so doing, that I have myself found God? Or...
Oh, forget it. If you're an ally of Cleon, why would Pericles invite you?
You're not from Athens, outsider. Here, we keep our enemies closest of all.
Why isn't Aspasia here?
Can you be certain she isn't? To observe her presence is still no guarantee that she is here.
사람이 없으면
In my
없는 거지.
opinion, it's just like her to cower in the shadows while we stand out here
얘네야 술
in
너무
the
많이 먹은 거 아니야?
light.
This has been useless. Here.
ότι συμμορία την άκρη περιοχή η φαρπάζουσα
뭔가 좀 빨간 방인 것 같은데.
I suppose you've come in here to mock me for my fight with Euripides.
Spare me. I'm only looking for clues to help me find a Spartan woman.
A Spartan woman in Athens. Sounds intriguing. Though, if you expect me to notice someone other than myself, you expect too much. You could talk to Euripides. He's the second most worldly man here. That pediculous, xanthodontus exophthalmic Morosov. But he doesn't talk without a drink.
I have no idea what that meant.
No, you don't.
So we get him drunk and he talks. He sounds more Argive than Athenian.
Impressive, foreigner. Euripides is from Argos.
All right. If nothing else, this party could use the help.
You'll need to pick the right wine for this task. The kitchen should have what you need. Let me know when Euripides is done in, and I'll slip away unseen.
How do you know Pericles?
I believe you mean to ask me, how does Pericles know you? I'm the greatest dramatist
야,
in the
할배는 왜
land,
아까
mentor
두명한테
to
막
Euripides, lover of Asclepios, father of theater, and so on, and so on.
I'm sure it's a real honor to have you hiding in his kitchen. You're awfully worked up over Euripides.
정 하나
You
형이
sure
한테
you're just
갈기지.
friends?
I'm never just anything, foreigner. Though I confess, Euripides and I hold a bond deeper than brotherhood. Why he slams it with a banal young plaything, Aristophanes, I will never know.
그러니까 절친이 다른 절친이 생겨가지고 질투가 났다 뭐 그런 건가?
I'll get the wine.
Wonderful. Now, if you want some friendly advice, Aristophanes cannot stand sweet wine. I've seen what it can do to him. Absolutely, horrifyingly delightful.
It wouldn't be a party without someone losing their stomach. I'll let you know if your plan worked.
A new face in Pericles' abode! Ha! That in itself is a remarkable thing. You must have seen me doing my impression of Cleon. I call it the Orange Ape. Tell me, what does it think?
날 아기처럼 부르지 마.
Did you just call me it? Watch your
작은
mouth,
아테네이나.
Athenian.
It speaks, and so feisty too. Sometimes I wonder if I'm doomed to be
누구한테
the only young
급하던요?
and beautiful thing here. So, what do they call you?
생명이 10개인가?
Cassandra.
I wouldn't peg you as a Cassandra, but never mind. I'm Aristophanes,
박지 않겠다.
and this man is Euripides. Oh, go on. Introduce yourself.
I'm Euripides.
For a playwright, you're not much for words.
Good men lead quiet lives, as old Euripides likes to say. Don't you, Euripides?
아직 안 거.
When I need to relax, I
말아도
start
했나?
to fight. For you, though.
Quickly, bring him some wine so that he might say something clever.
After my
나 얘를
argument with
수치하게 하고.
Sophocles, I think I'd rather keep my head clear.
I'm only here because I'm searching for someone.
And yet it gave us the distinct impression it was here to fill our wine. Let's focus on that first,
옆에는
shall
그냥
we?
주먹으로 기절시키고 싶다. 가능하다면.
I'm Pericles' new servant. I'd be happy to bring some wine.
An Athenian servant, you. And these are wine-pouring muscles.
I was a rower on Pericles' ship where he took pity on me. Now I pour wine for people who question my word. And his.
I wasn't questioning, Perhaps one drink.
Why don't you just apologize to Sophocles?
It's he who should apologize to you.
Sophocles is a friend, and one good friend is worth an entire family. He just needs
때 옆에 저
time
파만
to
머리 저
recover
새끼
from his
움직여.
outburst.
Pericles has invited all of you here for some reason.
Either we dine here and praise Pericles, or we dine with Cleon. But Cleon has all the charm of a typical politician. A horrible voice, bad breeding, and vulgar manners.
I'll return.
이 새끼 너무 촐랑거려. 명줄이 존나 짧을 것
Except for
같아.
that arrogant playwright. I don't see many distinguished guests in here. Can I help you with something?
I'm here for your sweet wine.
Yes, take it. But get up.
It's come back for more. Care to see my impression of Protagoras? I call it the flapping bladder.
I'm sure she wouldn't.
Let's conjure Dionysos, shall we?
This is pure swill.
Amateur. In my day, this would be considered nectar of the gods. Another round!
Ready for more?
I can hardly stomach this pig's piss.
I could outdrink both of you with one hand. Let's have some more!
아저씨 술 들어가니까 말이
You ready for
많아지는데.
another?
This wine is terrible.
You, I like you. Who brought you here?
I brought myself. I'm on the trail of a woman who fled Sparta a long time ago.
Fled? Why?
She lost 2 children. She had no choice.
She fled to heal a broken heart. Euripides, write her into a play.
I've heard Spartan mothers go to a sanctuary in Argolis to beg Asclepios for his divine...
스클레피오스가 뭔지 모르겠는데.
I should know, it's my home.
After what she went
대충
through,
종교적
I'm
이유로
not
가는
sure
곳이 있다는
she'd
거네.
trust priests.
Oh, then she sought my friend, Hippocrates. He's a physician, best of the best. He still keeps his office in Argos. If she
히포크라테스
went to him for
선생이죠.
help, there's no doubt he'd have given it.
I love getting drunk and singing. Come back if you want to sing with me.
요, 저 파란 옷 입은 놈 저거 때리는 버튼 없나?
Hippocrates in Argos. Here I come.
Έγνοτες άραγε που διαδίδουν χρόνων. Τα παιδιά λέγουσι ότι αλητήρια
How's Euripidis? Drunk, I hope.
You can stop hiding in here. Euripidis won't notice you coming out. He won't notice anything.
Hiding? Heed this. War has come to Athens. First they take our homes, then they take our heads. I intend to be found with at least my dignity intact. Or what's left of it anyway. If you see Pericles, tell him I said thank you for
근데
another
이
colorful
할배도
evening.
도와줬는데 되게 까칠하게 말하고 간다. 예, 인간들이 다 저기 상태가 좀.
Ah, the Mystios from the Ostrich. Let's talk later.
물살이요? 아쉽게도 전문에서 살을 주고 와가지고. 여긴 뭐야?
Someone's being hurt. Open this door or I'll kick it in!
No, don't mind her. She likes to watch.
오 마이 갓.
Look at you. Such
저게
authority. Such aggression. I can see why Pericles has taken such an interest in you.
잘생긴 양반이 왜 저래?
Did you come to join us?
It sounded like someone was in pain.
Well, it can sometimes be hard to distinguish between sounds of pleasure and pain.
정얼룩.
Had I known you were going to knock, I would have left my door wide open for you.
I thought this party was tame even by Athenian standards. Until now.
Let them have their meeting of the minds. I'm more interested in meeting other parts.
되게 잘생기지 않았나?
we're out of oil again.
나이 든거 치고.
Ali?
You know they like you when they give you a pet name. There's more olive oil in the kitchen.
올리브
But
오일을 뭐에
Aspasia
썼을까요?
keeps complaining about me walking
별로 알고 싶지 않아요.
unencumbered through her symposiums.
You mean naked?
It sounds so good when you say it.
After your...
Obedient too. I knew I
그러니까
liked
이게
you.
게임의
Don't take
등급
too
때문에
long.
팬티를 입고 있지. 그러니까
If you don't
원래는 덮고 다녔다는 거네. 올리브 오일 없어. 이름이 어디 있을까요?
Thank you for your help.
Σύμβα των όρος, διαβίησαν σπηλαίο κατά.
주방이 있고? 방금 한 데가 주방인데? 아 이거 이 옷 입고 있어가지고 저기 방을 못 넘네. 아 이미 먹은 건가? 아 그런 건가?
Ώρα καστάρι.
Just can't stay away, can you? Did you bring the oil?
You've grown up in Pericles' home, and yet you're so different.
No one is like Pericles. And he's only slightly more serious than usual, too. Athens is under siege, and he worries for her future.
이 사람은 뭐 하는 사람이에요?
Which is why
역사가?
tonight
역사는
is
알
a
것 같고.
fine time to celebrate
정치?
what may be our last taste of freedom.
When you walked in, you seemed like you and Socrates were...
How I wish you were right. One day we will have
아직
that
소크라테스를
man
정복하지
here with
못했군.
us. I promise you that.
프로게이머.
I might...
If you come back with a jar of...
프로게이머. 일단 못 먹었네. 수황에 기름처럼 보이는 게 뭐가 있지? 아, 빨간색 빛나네. 아, 이게
just can't stay awake.
I come bearing gifts.
We're saved! Today, these women grieved for their sons, and these men worked the wall. But tonight, we forget all of that.
아니야, 나 그거
Let's
듣지 마.
have some fun! What do you say? Care to
아니야.
join us?
병을 물 것 같아. 안 돼.
Now, it's time for you to help me.
암만 게임이라지만 이거는
I'm looking
이거는
for
너무
someone.
불쾌해.
All business right
안
until
돼.
the end. I like that.
Focus.
아무리 게임이라지만.
I'm looking for a woman who fled Sparta a long, long
아니
time
방금
ago.
전까지 양이랑 하던
Fled
놈이라고요.
Sparta. No
염소였나
one
아무튼.
flees Sparta. But let's pretend she did. If she were stupid, she'd be
방금
dead.
전까지 염소
If she
아니면
were
양이랑 하던
smart,
놈이라고.
she'd do what Aspasia did. She'd earn
아니,
her independence.
그냥 뭔가
The smartest and most resourceful women I've ever met have been in Corinthia.
앞으로도 기회가 많아.
Theatera. I've heard they play some sort of role in Corinth, but I assumed it was the same as any other city.
Oh no. These women are unlike any other you'll meet. A force, and the only ones there with any smarts.
Ali, come back inside.
Ooh, the celebration continues. When you reach Corinth, find Anthusa. No one goes in or out of the city without her knowing. Until we meet again, warrior.
Anthusa in Corinth. It's not much, but it's a start.
알고 싶지 않은 지식들이 들었다.
Ah, if it isn't the one who agrees that knowledge is
걸리면
most
사형이라고요?
important.
I think we agreed our use of
사형까지 가야
that
돼.
knowledge couldn't be more different.
Ah, you remember. Perhaps our conversation can continue.
You really intend to use this young destruction to avoid the point being argued?
아니야.
You have been arguing a single point all night and no one has a black eye? You have my attention.
We're discussing the nature of rules. We're better to do so than here. I'll ask you the same question I asked Thrasymachos. Would you agree that the act of ruling is an
통치가
art?
It
기술이라는
is an art, as all worthy undertakings are. That is not up for argument.
Yet, medicine is for the betterment of the patient and not the physician. Carpentry improves the building, not the builder. Then, is the art of ruling not for the betterment of the
철학적인
ruled
질문인데?
rather than the ruler?
Don't be absurd!
지배자들은 정의롭지 않습니다.
I've seen enough of the world to know that there are no just rulers. Even Pericles is self-serving.
Is a Spartan general who brings order to his troops, thereby saving his own life, self-serving? I'm not sure that's the case.
Ruling a city and fighting in battle are different things.
By practicing the
나도
art
저
of
베스타리랑
war,
가스턴
doesn't
너무
the
좋아.
general guarantee some of his troops a ferry ride to Hades, when a swift retreat would save all their lives?
You just said a general isn't self-serving when he brings order to his troops. Then you said he is self-serving because retreating would save the lives of his men?
근데 태강을
What
했을
are you
때
trying
더
to
많이
say?
죽을 수도
I
있잖아.
never tried to say anything.
But you just said those things.
I said the words, but I didn't say anything at all. I only attempted to gain your view on the matter.
You're wasting your time.
되게 정감가 그래 맞아.
Aspasia.
저 사람이 아스파시오야? 엄청난 미녀인데? 오. 저 사람이 엄마인 건 아니겠지? 그치, 그건 아니겠지? 주름이 너무 없잖아. 엄마인 건
I couldn't
아니죠?
help but notice your talent for debate. Well done. Socrates is an interesting character. Ah, Phoebe. Pericles has retired to the balcony already, has he? His ability to sneak off and sulk is second to none.
I can go get him, and Cassandra can help. Everyone listens when she talks.
That'll be fine. Run along. Cassandra will be right behind you. Now, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Aspasia. I had to go to great lengths to cover up your work in Megaris. I did what I had to, and I'd do it again. I make no apologies. We do what we must to survive, and there's no shame in that. It's how you got here, how I got
이게
here.
뒷수습을 할 만한 이유였나? 그냥
The
몇 명
clothes,
죽이고
they fit you well, I trust. I'd be more comfortable in these clothes if I had a blade in my hand. You never really get used to them. It seems we have the attention of the entire room without a single eye being fixed on us. If you'd like to talk, do it now, and do it discreetly.
내 엄마를
I'm
찾고
searching
있어.
for a woman named Mirini, my mother. I think she may be in danger, and my search brought me
직설적이고.
here. What clues do you have to her whereabouts? A physician named Hippocrates may have seen her in Argos. He's a good man. If you find a woman named Agathi there, do let her know Aspasia sends her regards. What else? Alcibiades gave me the name of a woman in Corinth. I'm sure he did. My dear friend, Anthusa, is the only one I know who's enjoyed a
안투사가
life
우리
in Corinth
엄마인가?
through
아니요.
legitimate means. Mostly legitimate anyway. That's all I have. There is another option. In a former life, when I needed something done or someone found, I contacted a friend. An admiral of a sort. What's his name? Her name is Xenia. When we last spoke, she was in chaos. A word of caution. When you go to her, be on your guard. Sea life makes a monster out of most people. Thank you, Aspasia. When you're done, return
아 근데
here.
고아들
Together,
거둬준 거
we
보면
will
나쁜 사람은
find
아닌
who
것
you're
같은데.
looking for. Now do me a favor and get Pericles to come down here and greet
내
his guest.
옷이 빨강이랑 파랑이라 서로 대립된다. 무엇을 암시하는 것이지? 헤리클레스는 맨날 여기 연애 일어나면 째고 딴 데서 노나 봐요. 자주 그런다는. 이 어디야 이거? 원래는 좀 하면 되는데. 원래는 벽을 이렇게 호다닥 하고 타고 올라가면 되는데.
Cassandra!
I didn't send for you. No matter how you've dressed for my party, Phoebe shouldn't
왜
have let
날
you in.
꺼려하는 거지? 뭘 숨기지?
Aspasia told me to come find you. She wants you to come down to the party.
She says I don't interact with our guests enough. But these parties aren't for me. Technically, you're a guest. If you join Herodotus and me, that should be enough for her, don't you think?
왜 파티에서 자꾸
You
도망치죠?
really don't want to go downstairs, do you?
When your days are spent speaking in front of crowds, you begin to
직업병인가 보군.
crave these moments of silence.
Or as silent as I let it be, at least.
Phidias was awaiting trial, but you had me get him out of Athens. I figured you, of all people, would want to follow the law.
Phidias is a very dear friend. I didn't want to risk him being found guilty. And of course, there were other threats.
So you knew?
I know he's delusional, but one day when you have a friend you'd do anything for, you'll understand.
I don't understand why you had Anaxagoras ostracized.
Socrates
나
said
이게 제일
he was
궁금해.
your
왜 친구를
friend.
추방한 거야?
I won't risk the lives of those close to me if there's something I can do about it.
So you did this to protect him?
Anaxagoras understood my fears. 10 years may be a long time, but at least he'll be safe.
그러니까 도시에 있으면 위험해서 합법적으로 추방을 시켰다는 건가?
Why send Matiojos to the fishing district if it's dangerous?
I would never have sent him into danger willingly.
It seems you have many loyal friends.
My people are important to me.
Your life is in danger.
Yes, Herodotus was saying. This cult doesn't worry me. I have my life threatened by far worse people every day. My true concern is Athens. I fear for her future.
The Spartans aren't your real concern, Pericles. The cult is coming.
그러니까 도편 추방대로 이제 합법적으로 추방시켜가지고 아테네에 안 있게.
The Spartans are immediate. A cult's threat is
여기서 의견 차이가
ambiguous.
있네.
I'm related to one of the cult members. And I believe him when he says they're coming after you.
Sound counsel to consider. I'll be sure to let my men know, regardless.
Aspasia sent me to see what's taking you so long.
Tell Aspasia I'll be right there. I suppose this is where our conversation ends. Thank you again for helping me.
뭐 마피아
I hope
게임까지는
my
아니게
guests are
그냥
able to
일기토
help you
뜨는
in your
거잖아.
search.
접니까
Time
이
will tell.
새끼입니까? 아닌가? 새끼 내보내? 안 내보내?
You look tired.
Only of conversation. I think that's the most talking I've ever done.
See? You didn't need a weapon after all. Are you leaving?
I've had enough of...
You get used to it. What are you going to do?
나는 아마도
There's a woman on the island of Chaos.
I've heard there are...
I'll be sure to be careful.
Good.
와 밤새 연애하다 나온 거야? 보기만 해도 피곤하다.
Not going to beg to come along this time?
Nope. I'm happy here. And this isn't Kefalonia. That means you'll be back.
친구 없는 아이 엄마요?
That's very true.
근데 애 엄마가
Plus,
해적질은
I really
왜?
like working for Aspasia. She says she has a mission for me.
I'll see you soon, Phoebe.
Bye, Cassandra.
애 엄마가 교단원 단수 나왔는데? 지금 열 수 있는 애가 그러면 생긴가? 열 수 있는 애가 없네요. 단수 먹었다고 그랬는데 왜 열 수 있는 애가 없지? 느낌표요? 아닌데? 여는 열 수 있는 애는 그 여는 버튼이 나와요. 그러니까 단서가 단계가 있어요. 그래서 한 방에 그냥 찾아낼 수도 있는데 이게 아닐 수도 있고. 아 레벨업 됐네. 적에게 발견되면 최대 6초간 느려진다. 나머지는 다 창 5레벨 찍어야 돼. 이거? 사냥꾼 피해를 1000%? 방패 2렙? 이거는 일단 쓰고는 쓸 수는 있어야 되니까 이거 먼저 찍고 나중에 포인트 어디 하나 더 먹으면 이거 찍으면 될 듯. 오늘 여기까지 합시다. 10시네 벌써.
Οι οφθαλμοί μου πεσεύουσι.
저는 갑니다. 자고 내일 봐요.